Shalom, shalom, Mishpaka. As I'm sitting here waiting for my daughter, I've had some thoughts well up inside of me. Um, we all have parents. Yep. We all know that part of our commandments is to honor our mother and our father. And I think one of the most important things by honoring your parents is by keeping the commandments, walking in the will of the Father, and keeping the testimony of His Son. But there's more. When you read Sirach, it talks about how we ought to be better children to our parents in their old age, when they go blind, when they have trouble walking. We need to be their eyes, we need to be their feet, we need to help them. Are you? A lot of people have a hard time with this one because they were hurt. They were hurt by their father or their mother or both. Perhaps your parents are divorced and you come from a split home. Perhaps you were beat by your parents. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Perhaps there was some molestation. Let's be real, okay? Perhaps you caught your parent stepping out on another parent. This is hard stuff. And you're at a place in your walk with Father where you know that you got to keep those commandments. And perhaps you're going through this right now. You're like, what can I do for my parents? How can I be better for them? Or how can I even help them if they've been awful to me my whole life? Or maybe you had parents that let their lives go to give you a better life. And by that, I mean working all the time, non-stop, picking up all these extra hours so you could have a better life, better schooling, whatnot, you know? Are you one of those? I come from a family where my dad was a musician. My mom was a waitress. We grew up in the restaurant business. And my dad would sing. My mom would waitress. And I would always be there, either being a door girl or hanging out in the kitchen. I learned a lot. I learned how to make a phenomenal pizza. I stand by that too. I am a great pizza maker. But where I came from, we call it pie. I make a good pie. It's difficult for a lot of people because they weren't brought up in a great house. And there's still like resentment and enmity between you and your parent or parents. I get it. I'm not here to divulge in my parents' stuff. They did the best that they could. They made really stupid mistakes. They walked in those mistakes. Sometimes to their shame. I held on to their sins so much growing up. I would throw it in their face. I would tell them off. I reminded them. I did. And that's not good. That's not cool. And by them, I don't mean my mom. My mom was a saint and is still a saint in my eyes. I mean, she's a saint. We are human. One of the most amazing things that Father, our Heavenly Father, did was reach into my heart and start to mold and mend my dad and my relationship. This was really hard. Like I said, I'm not talking about anything because my dad's not here to defend himself, so I'm not going to bring up stuff. But I'm on here trying to say that through me helping my parents, even though I had this resentment towards my dad, it healed us. It formed a new relationship. It made us stronger. I don't agree with a lot of his things. He has a very Baptist way of thought, but I don't argue with him. And that's not why I resent him. Or I don't resent him anymore, I should say. Father healed that. You got to understand, Father healed that through me honoring the commandment of honor your mother and your father, so your life will be long. It's the only command with a promise. And I didn't do it so my life would be long. I did it because it became real heavy on my chest. My husband and I were going to move away. We were actually fixing on selling our house. We sold our house. And Father closed those doors so tightly we could not leave. I was so angry because I wanted to join a group in Missouri. Father had different plans for me. And praise Yahweh, because if I ended up going, there wouldn't have been any way for me to get back to help my parents, and they need more help than ever right now. They're elderly, they're not doing good. My dad can barely walk. He is legally blind and is almost completely blind. And he needs me, and I'm all he has. Can you imagine if I left? I actually had a brother and a sister try to convince me, saying it's okay. You don't need to be there for them because you're keeping the commandments and that's enough. And though I did ponder that, it didn't sit right with me because it's not right. And when you read your Torah, you understand that that's not what's written in there. We are to honor them. In their old age, we are to become their helpers. We aren't to look away and live our crazy, amazing life with, and like just watch our parents suffer. We ought to be there for them. They gave up their lives for us, even in the hardships where they messed up, and it messed up the family, and it really mentally messed up me and my brother. Some of the things that occurred growing up, some of the things I saw, my dad was a musician, man, forgiveness. That's what Father taught me through that whole situation. By honoring and keeping that command of honoring your mom and your dad, I learned to forgive. It's like Father said, okay, you're going to be faithful and keep that command. I'm going to be faithful, and I'm going to reach in your heart, and I'm going to take out all the awful, and I'm going to redirect your mind. So every time you look at your dad, you're not going to remember these things. It's real talk. And it worked. It healed. And we have a great relationship now. Wonderful relationship. And I often look back and I think to myself, man, I wasted so many years with anger and so many years of hate towards my dad. That's not cool. I was hurt. Things happened within my home. I was abused by my brother, only to find out that my brother was abused by my uncle, by our uncle. Not related, but a good friend, and we just called him Uncle. So that was another thing that Father helped me heal from, was that I was able to forgive my brother because I understood that he was deeply hurt. Like, he was so hurt by my uncle in ways I don't even want to mention. And he thought it was okay, and he started doing that to me, which is not okay. And when you're a parent and you're faced with this, I mean, I can't even imagine the horror. I would be extremely upset. I think I would take my son to the police station. Like, I don't even know what I would do. I would be so mad. My parents tried to deal with it the best way that they could. They're wonderful parents. They did nothing wrong, outside of the fact that they had a hard time believing certain things until it came out, where my brother admitted it. And then we found out about the abuse from my uncle, which in return affected me. And my parents apologized. And we worked through it. I can stand next to my brother now, y'all, and not feel that hurt. You know, that's Father. That's Father. He is in the restoration business. He restores. And the only reason why I'm sharing all of this is because I know that there are people out there that have been abused sexually, physically, mentally, even religiously. Religion was my biggest abuser. And it really tainted my walk with, at the time I said God. It tainted my walk with Him. And I believe this is why Father had compassion. Because I was walking in a belief system that wasn't, it's system, right? It's a system. A belief system that wasn't true. Father wasn't there in that system, but He was always around me. Even when I said Jesus, Lord, and God, He was there, waiting for the perfect moment to wake me up, to show me that love that I always needed, that I never received. I was always left and abandoned by everyone. I could never keep a friend. I have one friend that I've had for 30 years. And he knows who he is. He watches this sometimes. I love you, David. He is my absolute best friend. Met him in school. And, he's never left me. He's always had my back. He understood me and still understands me. He's amazing. He approved of my husband. He was a brother I never had, you know? Always watched out for me and still does. Life has been nothing but hard. And I know a lot of you have the same experience. There's freedom in that, in Yahweh. There is, you need to allow Him to work on your heart. You need to be obedient. And He meets you halfway. But before I even became obedient, He was there giving me a decision. Y'all, I heard my name loud and clear. And I have called you by your name, legit. He called me by my name. And I heard it. And my mind was in crazy mind fires. But I heard my name, softly spoken, which took those mind fires away and took all of my pain away and all of my crazy in an instant. I was mentally, physically, spiritually healed. I can't even make that up. I mean, the only thing that screwed up my health was me. I did that. Father gave me good health, and I destroyed it by overeating. Gluttony is a deadly sin. It's deadly. And now I screwed my body up so much by overeating that I can only eat certain things. It has to be gluten-free, dairy-free. It can't be raw food. I can't have most seeds. I can only have walnuts. I can't have caffeine, which is not a bad thing if you think about it. But y'all, I miss cheese. You don't even understand. That was what I overate, was cheese. I love cheese. But when you abuse yourself, you know, I was going through a lot. Kind of have to walk in it from there, you know. I was able to keep my life, and that's a blessing in itself. It may be hard for me. I may have a hard time walking and running. I can't eat most things, but I'm here. I have life, and that's amazing. That's more than I can ask for. That's a beautiful gift. And so, something I should have said from my last video that I made, the one with the picture was a truck that hit a stop sign. Thought that was great. The red truck with the stop sign. That was wonderful. But I wanted to say that his name is important. He made that very clear in the word, that his name is important. I was just trying to say that we need to stop beating people over the head if they're not saying it properly, or if they're saying a different name for right now. Father will work through that. But y'all, we're going to be stumbling blocks if we keep beating them over the head with it. Seriously. And they're going to walk away. There was multiple times where I wanted to walk away because people were like, you're not saying the right thing, you got to say it like this, you got to do that, blah, 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 blah. And it was a non-stop bombardment of the name, or food, or clothes, or feast days. It was something, it was always something. Do we keep night start? Do we keep dawn start? It's like, at least you're keeping it. You know? And that in itself says more than anything. I am not going to argue anymore. I refuse. You get nowhere. Just walk it out. So, I got off topic like I always do. I just wanted to say I love you all. My daddy's calling me. I got to call him back. Be there for your parents. Allow Father to mend that relationship. And what helped me mend the relationship with my daddy was keeping the command of honor your mother and your father, so your days will be long. From keeping that, my relationship was restored. And it was hard keeping it in the beginning. So hard. There was arguments. But Father gradually restored it. It was beautiful. And we're okay now. We're actually okay now, which is beautiful, because he don't have to die knowing that he couldn't fix a relationship with his daughter, right? And he doesn't have to die leaving me wondering what the heck, right? So, Father is good. He is so Tob. So Tob. And I love you all. Shalom, shalom.